My name is Lisa Bruce, and I am a student in the Master's Graduate Program at Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. Today, I will be discussing the art I have learned in being a good listener and the barriers that I have faced that were preventing me from becoming a good listener. The importance of good listening, good communication skills in counseling is being a good listener. It's one of the most important skills in communicating with others. Feisler suggests that everyone wants to be listened to, even a self-proclaimed non-talker. My goal at the start was to become a better communicator. As a human service professional, communication is very important. Being a good listener is the most important in communication skills in the human service field. Human service professionals, such as counselors, largely rely on good listening skills to do their job. Skills in listening involve verbal and nonverbal communication. In verbal communication, there is a talker and a listener. The talker's goals are, I am most bothered. I own the problem. I want to share my feelings, to share my thoughts, without accusing, without attacking, labeling, or judging. The listener's goals are, I'm calm enough to hear. I don't own the problem. I want to provide safety, to understand and to clarify, without agreeing, disagreeing, advising, or defending. Your face is probably the most expressive part of your body and one of the most important vocal points for nonverbal communication. Dominance and submission can be communicated posturally. A lean forward can be communicated as interest, while a lean backward can be seen as a negative attitude. In Stewart, verbal communication involves inhaling and exhaling. When inhaling, you are taking in the information and selecting what to pay attention to. You're organizing the information so that you understand it. Last, you're inferring when you judge the importance of the information. In expressing and disclosing, you have interpreted the information and added your understanding to what you heard and responding to the talker verbally. The role identity plays in listening. I have been categorized as a CNS blend, which means I like stability, but I'm not too aggressive. Change is not favored in my environment, and I am very protective of my family, friends, and the truth. I like things done right and in order and not in a hurry. I am described as a peacemaker in my uniquely you profile, which means I like to solve others' problems. The role identity plays in listening. Identity can be ascribed, which means someone has assigned you an identity you may or may not agree with. Identity ascribed to you. Or identity can be avowed, which means you assigned your own identity and acted out. The effects on communication. In Stewart, identity characterizes by 4 parts. Multidimensionality, selves as responders. Identities are developed in the past and the present. Multidimensional identity has 3 components. The first being personal, which are the characteristics that make you unique. The second, relational, which is based on relationships you have with others. And the third is communal, which relates to large groups you identify with, such as genders, ethnicities. Selves as responders is the identity you form as a response or reply to something else. Identities are developed in the past and present relationships with people around us. Barriers to being a good listener. A faker. That means faking attention. A dependent listener. You live vicariously through the talker. An interrupter. Interrupt others while they talk. A self-conscious listener. You're too distracted thinking about yourself. An intellectual listener. Hearing only what you want to hear. Schnell states, there are listening distractions that inhibit effective listening. Factual listening distractions occur when the listener listens for facts instead of the main idea. Mental listening distractions occur when the listener has too much interpersonal communication while engaged in interpersonal communication. The role diversity plays in communication. Culture, gender, and religion affect how we as people perceive information from others. In different cultures, men and women address each other differently and have different roles in society. Your religious beliefs affect how and who you communicate with. Interpersonal communication video. In the video that we all watched entitled Fireproof, we saw the total breakdown of communication between a husband, Caleb, and his wife, Catherine. The video showed the effects of bad communication and how it can destroy a marriage. Caleb and Catherine's hearts were close to each other and to God. But once Caleb allowed God to enter his heart, he became open to his wife's needs and wants. That change in communication saved their marriage and gave them peace of having Jesus in their life. Techniques to become a better listener. Acknowledge what the person is saying is important. Repeat accurately what the person said to give the assurance of your full attention. Use paraphrasing when repeating what you heard to show the feeling you received from the talker. Use parathinking to clarify what you heard so that the talker can hear what they said as you understood it. Decode what was said so that you can make sense of it. Play detective. Ask questions to gather more information. Admit your ignorance so the talker can clarify the information better. Own your feelings by sharing emotion that pop up, then get right back to the talker's story. Allow space in your mind for insight and surprises that emerge from the talker's reflections and comments. Old folks and boring stories can be made interesting again by asking the talker questions about any life lessons they learned from the events. Action plan to be a better listener, Burley and Allen. Avoid being critical and judgmental. Listen to the underlying meaning of what was said. The timing for asking questions is very important. Refrain from solving the talker's problems. Solving the talker's problem. Action plan. I will take the skill I have learned to be a good listener. Should I become a Christian or secular counselor, I would first create an atmosphere that is warm and inviting. I would start every day with a prayer, calling on the Spirit of the Lord to enter my space with divine intervention, and also to impart me with understanding. My conclusion: as human beings, we should always strive to be better people, better life partners, better parents, better siblings, better friends. This starts with being a better listener. We must first listen to God's plan for our life and then follow His instructions. Thank you.